Lord of the Mysteries. Chapter 961. Warning by Informing. Adam is one step closer to being divine. Such a simple sentence instantly sent tumultuous waves through every member of the Tarot Club. Other than Leonard, the other members, including Zyle, who had been briefed of the important points by the magician, immediately recalled the information regarding Adam. Ancient sun god, City of Silver's creator's son, brother of blasphemer Ammon. Suspected to be one of the 8 kings of angels. And this mythical figure, who had existed before the cataclysm, had become active in the real world once again. And he was one step closer to being divine. This, to make Mr. Fool sigh, it means that Adam is probably just one step short of reaching the divine throne, sequence 0. There's a chance that he might make that step at any moment. Alger subconsciously came to a conclusion as he hurriedly clasped his hands and couldn't help but have thoughts run through his mind. A sequence 0 true god is about to be born. There are still births of true gods in the 5th epoch? This will be the first true god this epoch. With deities no longer able to descend upon the real world, it's unbelievable that a sequence 0 would still appear. Alger always found himself ambitious, with him now setting his sights on sequence 2, to become an angel. But after hearing about Adam, he still found it unacceptable. One had to know that the last one to become a sequence 0 true god was the former god of craftsmanship, the present god of steam and machinery. And that happened in the late 4th epoch. Since the 5th epoch, over 1300 years, there hadn't been any new existence reaching the divine throne. It's no wonder Mr. Fool said that the times will change as a result. Amidst Katla's scattered thoughts, she suddenly came to a realization as though she could see the waves that marked the end of an epoch flooding over. Having already gathered the ingredients and being in the process of making preparations for the sequence 4 ritual, she believed she had the chance of attaining divinity in the near future to change her existence. She was still reeling in joy, anticipation, and unease. But at this moment, she suddenly felt a baffling sense of horror. All she wanted was to communicate with Queen Mystic face to face to confirm the future. Furs, Zyle, and the other members had a myriad of reactions. On the one hand, they were shocked that Adam was attempting to achieve divinity, never expecting such a matter to happen in the 5th epoch. On the other hand, they were worried for their present life. After all, be it Emlyn from the Sanguine, or Audrey who lived amongst the Lone Kingdom's upper class, all of them lived in the 5th epoch, living in a situation which had more than 1,000 years of history setting the foundation. They didn't dare have any sacrilegious thoughts towards true gods. Even when facing evil gods like the true creator, they still felt a deep sense of fear and awe, acknowledging their level and loftiness. Therefore, they couldn't believe that a god would soon appear. They couldn't imagine what would happen next. In their eyes, the Fool was a reawakened ancient god, an existence who originally sat at the throne of sequence 0. One step closer to being divine. Becoming a god. Derek was mostly excited, as though he could see hope and have a target to strive for. To him, only a sequence 0 could save the City of Silver. Adam? Becoming a god. Although Leonard didn't know who Adam was, just the simple words of being one step closer to being divine was easy to understand. He connected it to that ordinary priest who had appeared after the battle ended and had picked up 0-08 in front of Klein. That's Adam? Or a subordinate of Adam? No, 0-08 is a grade 0 sealed artifact. Only Adam, who's very close to the divine throne, can do it personally with great certainty. It's no wonder the battle within Sangwil was easier than I expected. I thought the best outcome would be me and Klein dragging in Sangwil into hell together. Who's Adam? Why haven't I heard of him? Perhaps a result of being parasitized by an angel, allowing him to know some of the secrets and developments of the 4th epoch. Leonard had a deeper understanding of Adam's path to being divine. The impact he felt wasn't too great, with most of his feelings puzzlement and curiosity over Adam's true identity. And at this moment, the Fool didn't speak again or give further explanations. It was as though he was simply warning the members to make preparations for the change of the times. Amidst the confusion and wandering thoughts, the world Gehrman Sparrow glanced at the star Leonard and simply said, "Adam is the son of the ancient sun god, blasphemer Amon's brother." Leonard immediately jumped in fright and failed to control his expression. He had a deep impression of Amon, and he had a deep trauma for Amon because of Old Man's descriptions. And Adam was Amon's brother, so it was very possible that the level of horror was likely the same between the two brothers. The world ignored the star's reaction and continued. "It can be confirmed now that Adam is one of the 8 kings of angels, titled Angel of Imagination. He is ranked on par with Angel of Time Amon. The reason for him targeting Insanguil is to obtain 0-08 to make up any shortfalls for his path to being divine. And his plan succeeded. Angel of Imagination. Adam is a king of angels from the spectator pathway?" Audrey instantly connected this to the Dragon King Anquelt's title, Dragon of Imagination. And she had long known that mind dragons represented the spectator pathway. As for Leonard, another comprehension obstacle appeared before him. He had been stumped by the concept of a king of angels, but he was too embarrassed to ask. He had planned on seeking Old Man's help when he awakened. Alger pondered over Gehrman Sparrow's words as his expression turned slightly odd. He probed, "You seem to have witnessed the matter?" Just as he said that, all of them heard a familiar, hoarse laughter. After Gehrman Sparrow finished laughing, he looked at the star and said as though it was nothing, "The murder of Insanguil was committed by me and my partner." Katla's mind instantly went blank. She could accept that Gehrman Sparrow could easily finish off Admiral Hell, but she couldn't imagine that he would one day kill a real Sequence 4 demigod. Katla quickly calmed down because, with a king of angels involved in the battle, it was possible that a Sequence 5 could kill off a heavily injured demigod due to various coincidences. Furthermore, he had a partner. Audrey read confidence from the world's tone. She couldn't help but ask out of curiosity, "Mr. World, have you already become a demigod?" The world didn't give a direct answer as he chuckled. "In the future, all of you can entrust matters involving demigods to me." Every member present figured out the meaning in between the lines. He had become a genuine Sequence 4 demigod. Furthermore, he was the kind who had the ability to kill peers at his level. At that instant, Katla became abnormally calm. She tried hard to recall everything that she had seen and heard regarding Gehrman Sparrow. She was very certain that he was only a Sequence 6 before the visit to the ruins of the battlefield of gods. He relied on the glove to match a Sequence 5. As for Gehrman Sparrow's search for mermaids without hunting any of them, it implied that it was a requirement of a ritual. This meant that he had indeed advanced to Sequence 5 back then. His various performances after that proved this point. Today, it had only been about 3 months since Gehrman Sparrow stepped into the ruins of the battlefield of the gods, but he had already advanced to Sequence 4, becoming a demigod existence. This overturned Katla's understanding of the world. She wasn't too old, with her age being less than 30. But to reach Sequence 5 and gain the title of Admiral of Stars, it took her about 7 to 8 years. It was only in the past 1 or 2 years did she have the confidence to attempt to breach the gate to become a demigod. With her starting to make preparations, she believed she was already far ahead of the pack. Mr. World is impressive. He became a demigod so quickly. Derek sincerely felt joy. His idolization for Mr. World grew more intense as he hoped that he could be like him, becoming a demigod at the fastest speed possible. Audrey was both alarmed and delighted. Following that, she gained an understanding towards the abnormality in Gehrman Sparrow's mental state. From the looks of it, his low spirits, gloomy, and depressed feelings happened after he became a demigod. These are the negative effects accumulated from potions. It's just like how I nearly lost control when I became a psychiatrist. Also, after becoming a Sequence 4 and gaining godhood, he could naturally penetrate more of reality. He then realized that he had been sleeping for a very long time. His family had passed away, making him lose his goals. How pitiful! With his warm nature, he must have had deep feelings for his family and friends. However, I'm so envious. Does being Mr. Fool's blessed make one advance so quickly? I also wish to become a demigod early. Mr. Fool's mention that the times have changed as a result leaves me fretting. While Emlyn and the other members were still in shock, Alger, who also shared the same feelings and felt deep envy and jealousy towards Gehrman Sparrow, had other thoughts. As Mr. Fool's blessed, Gehrman Sparrow's embroilment with this King of Angels and 008 matter clearly isn't an accident. On the contrary, it might be more reasonable that it's a mutual plan between Angel of Imagination Adam and Mr. Fool. That will explain it. Two mythical figures that existed before the cataclysm. One is awakening, and the other is making an advancement, the two secretly coming together. Amidst his thoughts, Alger had another idea. Since Adam had obtained 0-08 and opened the door to the divine throne, what about Mr. Fool? What benefit did he get in this matter? Subconsciously, Alger turned his body and slightly bowed his head to look at the seat of honor. He didn't dare look directly, and could only look through the corner of his eye.